Let's go, dude. Let's kick off this podcast right with a dope ass intro. Never gets fucking old. Welcome to Smartly Uneducated, everybody. I'm your lovely host, Ben, and I am joined by my beautiful co-host, Evan, which I'm about to switch the camera over him, but I wanted to say right off the bat, because our efforts to getting through to GT's Alive that Evan has been doing has been working, and we got in contact with them, and we are we're in the works of setting up a sponsorship. It's quite cool. So now I'm going to take my effort, Guinness. This is brought to you by Guinness. Oh, yeah.
Oh, God.
Guinness. You drive me, baby. Please give me a sponsorship. I'll give anything. So anyways, back to you, Evan.
Starting the show off right with
Hell
a
yeah,
wonderful,
dude.
sensual kiss to a Guinness. I hope everyone's having a wonderful, beautiful Sunday down here in the deep state of Texas. It is a chilly day. It's been getting
But it's
chilly.
bright and sunny, though,
It's
dude.
beautiful. No sky, no clouds in the sky. Sky is blue as all get
I
out.
thought you said no Scots.
sky to see.
I thought you said no Scots. I'm like, dude, I didn't know any Scots today. So
No
hey.
skies in the cloud. Wait a minute. They're cloud seeding us, dude. If you ain't paying attention to what's going on.
Yeah, no crap. Well, cloud seeding actually is a real thing.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
yeah.
But again, I hope y'all are having a wonderful Sunday. You're joining us today on your few hours you have to kill. 2 hours with us is going to be
Yeah.
2 hours well spent. I hope you're all sitting back with your favorite beverage, favorite snacks. I know we got our Guinnesses here. We got a little bit of water to quench our thirst as well. But we have an interesting show for you. As you can see in the title, we're going to talk about DOGE, as it is a huge thing going on
findings,
right
yep.
now, right?
Yep.
And we also talk about a little thing about the CIA and Vault 7, some of their releases they did.
Yeah, so that will be the second half. The second half is really going to focus on the CIA it's the anti-forensic malware tool set they have that got leaked back in, like, I think it was 2017 or
Yeah,
2018 on
absolutely.
WikiLeaks. And I have a full breakdown on it. I have all the code because I know how to code and program and stuff. So I was reading through the stuff, and yeah, I'm here to walk you guys through it about how terrifying this thing is, and the fact, more than likely, it's still being used right now.
Oh, it definitely is. Yeah.
Like it's insane, and we'll get into all that, but that'll be the second half. First half's gonna do all this crazy other crap that's going on in the world. So
Yeah, and as always, I'm going to read a few headlines just to get us going, just to get us started. You know how that typically goes. If you join us here every week, you know.
Sorry, can I say something
Yeah,
real quick?
as always.
Just before you get going. So we posted up. We'll be taking calls. We have the phone number up. We're gonna throw it into the chat again here shortly. Just before we open up for like a 5 to 10 minute window, take any calls, things like that. If you have any input about current things going on around the world, current news, things like that, if you have an opinion, you want to share it, like, let's talk about it. I
Please,
mean,
yeah.
like we like to have that kind of conversation, so let's make it happen. But anyways, back to you, Evan. Kick it off.
We are here for you, so give us a call anytime. So, you know that I have been following nuclear pretty heavily and really, really trying to see what's happening in the world with it. But they have finally released another style nuclear reactor. It's a next-gen nuclear fuel breakthrough for reactors achieved by the United States. So not only has China been creating new fuel, new technology, the U.S. has has officially joined the fight with a company called Lightbridge Corporation. It is based out of Texas, by the way. It's a very, very interesting little company.
Interesting at all.
I think I may be misspeaking when it's out of Texas. I know there's several. I know your energy is based out of Texas, but I may be misspeaking about Lightbridge. But anyway, Lightbridge is the company that creates fuel and creates it for the reactors. So they have found a new next gen, and it makes it even better, even more fluid, even cleaner than anything that you can think about, and it's going to last even longer. Also, in news of China, yet again, a company or a gentleman's name is Style Steven. He's the very first humanoid robot for interacting with polishing tasks unveiled in China. So this little guy can now seriously do tasks and walk around and be very efficient in doing things, cleaning up your house and doing tasks that you don't want to do.
I don't like it.
I think it's like Jetson style. I think it's cool as hell, personally.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to do laundry anymore. And
Yeah, laundry kind of sucks.
and if I can buy me a robot slave to do it for me, call me Andrew Jackson, because I'm gonna be having a plethora of them.
Call
dude.
me Andrew Jackson. Yeah. Hey, there was also speaking of technology. So, do you get if anyone has a Roomba, a self-cleaning vacuum in your house? Well, this past week it came out that basically this woman, her pretty much pictures of her taking a crap on the toilet all of a sudden started floating around on the internet. And she's like, where are these pictures coming from? Because they were taken from the floor point of view of her bathroom. Yeah, it was her Roomba. And the company, people were leaking out intimate photos of people. And that was one of them. It wasn't the AI or anything like that. It was people doing it within these companies. So if you have a Roomba, throw that bitch in the trash, because he's taking pictures of everything. You, your kids, the works, in your most private moments.
Most private and vulnerable moments. Right?
There's a reason why mine's not plugged in, and I haven't used it in 2 years.
I've never owned one. I've always wanted one, but
Oh yeah,
I feel as if
it's bad.
they just produce more work. Like they sweep everything up, and now you got to empty it out. You got to charge it. you
Yeah,
gotta
and then if
maintain
you
it, gotta-
yeah, and of course if you want the ones that do it itself, you got to pay like $2,000.
yeah, it's ridiculous, right? So it's all cool in theory, but be very mindful of what you're putting in your home. I know we all know Alexa is always listening to us. The Google Home's always listening to us. Your phone's always listening to us. Now the Roomba is taking photos of you pooping. Yeah, dropping a dookie.
Driving a big old dookie, dude. they call her Dookie Girl.
I hope not.
Wait,
That's really unfortunate for this
Yeah,
poor woman.
some people were like, dude, she's got Riz taking that shit. I heard that. I didn't even know what Riz was until I heard it. And then I was just like, I had to look it up. I was like, ew.
I wish I could take a Rizzy shit. That sounds fantastic. My mind just, enough poop talk.
Yeah. Yeah.
But-
Hey, I got a news thing for you.
Yeah, please.
So I'm going to pull it up here so you guys can actually see it. So in China, so the world first stem cell treatment reversed diabetes for a patient in China. And they're claiming basically it looks like they've cured diabetes. So basically it's just saying that basically a cell biologist last year and his team at Peking University in Beijing took cells from a woman with type 1 diabetes, reprogrammed into blood sugar regulating cell clusters, and injected them back into her abdomen. And basically it worked. It literally, like, she has not once had to deal with insulin.
No injections needed.
Yeah, nothing. Like, it's a real thing. I mean, this is on, like, multiple different, like, you can look this up on any website.
I mean, so
it's all pretty much the same. But I just wanted to share that because that's really interesting. And let me tell you, big pharma, Pfizer, all the big companies are shitting a brick right now.
Yeah, they are.
I'm not kidding. They actually said that they wanted nothing to do with it. They already commented on it. They wanted nothing to do with it. Because guess what? There's more money in treating an illness than curing it. And we already know that there's plenty of things out there that actually do cure people of things, and they do not push it.
And stem cell therapy has been around for a while. They use it to do all sorts of different treatments for ailments and cures, and now they're using it to actually cure serious issues like diabetes that we all know Americans have that. Like almost every American will have diabetes in their life, right?
Diabetes.
I don't know the percentage, but it's scaringly high.
My birth giver's got it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a really serious thing going on in America. It's an epidemic, if you will.
Severe.
So if they have a cure for it using stem cells, we should have that to the public. Why are they so scared to give it to us? Oh, we all know why. This is a sort of rhetorical question, right? We all know why they don't want to give it to us, but now we got RFK Jr. in the building. He's going to be like, yeah, fuck diabetes. Everyone's going to get stem cell injections.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I love what is coming for the reform of health and making people healthy again.
I don't want to take an injection, though. When can I just snort some stem cells and let that shit
Snort
straight to the
some
brain?
Yeah, no crap. What was it? Let me pull it up. I want to play the video
Oh, you got a video for the
You got anything
viewing
else you want to
audience?
say while I pull this up real quick?
I mean, yeah, you know, I can just ramble on for hours over here, but the people don't want to hear me ramble on about nothing, do you?
Yes, we
If
do.
you do, I can just go. I can start spitballing. You can call me Theo Vaughn over here, spitballing random shit off the top of my dome.
Hell
But
yeah.
yeah,
Oh, I guess I didn't bookmark
there's a
it.
lot of interesting things going on in the world. They found the cure for diabetes, and they're not wanting to give it to Americans. They're working on the cure for cancer, which we all know over here in the quote unquote conspiracy realm that they've had the cure for a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we got
Well, here, can I play this?
Yeah.
I've got it now.
yeah, absolutely.
So give me one
environment.
second.
And the
There-
purpose
oh,
is
my
to
bad.
make America healthy
They
again.
cannot see
America's
that.
current ag policy
They
is
can now.
destroying America's health on
Oh,
every
wait, no, they
level.
can't.
They can
It's
see
destroying the
Let me
economic
switch
health
it
of
back.
farmers
It
by
is-
forcing them to get
it, like,
big
went
or get
too
out.
large.
Big corporate farms do just fine, while the small and
My bad, guys. That was an accident. It
to the
like,
point of collapse.
all right.
It also
Stop
just
playing.
You can tell we're live over here, everybody. This is
Yeah, it was not supposed
we
to
are
do that.
actually live.
It didn't like that. So let me make that a little bit bigger here. And you know what? It's gonna mess up because where I'm pulling it from, it's not wanting to populate right. But basically, it's RFK giving an announcement talking about, you know, pretty much what he plans to do.
I love this. by
You
the
know,
way.
for like farm. Oh, I do too. So let me just read a couple highlights, and then we'll move on from it since the video is. I wanted to play the video so you guys could watch it from the, you know, have the horse's mouth say it himself. But basically, it says, you know, some of the things where he's going to rewrite the regulations to give smaller operators a break for farmers. We're going, you know, he said that we're going to encourage sustainable regenerative farming that can build soil and replenish aquifers. And then, you know, another one is that he's going to ban the worst agricultural chemicals that are already prohibited in other countries, and we're going to remove conflicts of interest from the USDA dietary panels and commissions. Now, let me tell you guys something. When I've already seen a couple posts, people freaking out about the idea of him banning certain chemicals, and for some reason, these people think these chemicals are good. Well, let me tell you, it's not the case. I worked in agriculture for 7 years. I was, I ran an elevator during certain seasons, and was in management. Like, I was involved. I worked at a grain elevator. I did the whole thing. I was even the manager of agronomy for my location. So with the fertilizers, liquid, dry, you name it, all these different chemicals, pesticides, and I got to see it firsthand. And let me tell you, these things are so fucking bad for you. They are so bad for the environment. They're bad for the crops. What they produce is this weird, mutated, nasty thing. It literally, you get sick off this shit. This is what makes people, this is why people, it lowers your IQ. Ingesting these things, it does affect your brain.
What things are you talking about specifically?
Different types of pesticides,
Okay,
different
gotcha.
types of fertilizers, especially when they're there are certain fertilizers out there that are like, for instance, anhydrous ammonia. Now, it's got a lot of great things about it, but if it's not used correctly, which some places don't, especially wherever you get it from, can be very volatile to your crops, but the crops will still grow, and you have no idea that there's something wrong with them. So that's why they're super regulated, but at the same time, I know of a couple of things, and I'm not going to say nothing because I don't know if I can say that without getting potentially like arrested.
Yeah,
Like I'm not kidding. Like, that's
getting a
it's a little bit
lawsuit thrown
different.
at you, huh?
But I can tell you right now, all of what he's calling for is A+ across the board. It needed to happen, and the fact that they're thinking of farmers, like, farmers are dying, man.
Yes, they are.
They've been dying. They basically been dead. Everything was robbed from us, and now it's like giving power back to the farmers here, in house, like bringing it back up. Like, this is all amazing.
It's power to the people,
Yeah,
right? That's
dude,
that's the
it's-
biggest point that needs to be happening.
Farmers
in
needed
America.
it bad.
Yes,
dude.
they did.
They needed someone to
desperate.
fight for them, and fucking RFK's doing it.
And he's
you
bringing
know.
back regenerative farming, or bringing
Oh,
it back
yes.
to like
Yes.
an encouragement based concept, which is
Oh,
so
back to, like,
desperately
yeah.
needed. And it was so far behind.
Mhm.
They were farming and then throwing chemicals on it, throwing chemicals on it, then the land would
Mhm.
die. Now there was a entire study based around regenerative farming, and now they're able to do it, and it's pushed and benefited, and now they're going to get write-offs and helped out in better ways to do this specific type of farming. It's very, very exciting.
Oh, yeah.
I'm here all the way for this ride now.
Oh yeah.
I was whenever they had Elon start
Ripping through shit.
auditing all these different companies. I was here for that. I was
Oh,
here for
yeah.
them whenever they appointed Tulsi Gabbard to potentially become, and she won.
Oh, can I make a statement on something? So everyone's freaking out about Tulsi Gabbard because there's an image of her doing this, right?
Yeah.
You know, and then someone there was another picture that got showed of the photographer taking the picture of her doing it, and everyone's like, Illuminati, all this like conspiracy. She's Hawaiian, you fucking idiots. Go look up Hawaii, and go look up what they do in their culture. You're gonna see a lot of this. Oh, yeah, you fucking idiots. Come on, man. Like, are you guys so closed off? Like, oh, what am I saying? It's typical general populace. Most people are idiots, or they're willfully ignorant. There's a point to be made about that. I've noticed that there's one thing to be ignorant. All right, you just didn't know. You're ignorant. You didn't know. I've been ignorant many times in my life, and I'm sure you have, and I'm sure
Whoa,
anyone
hey, dude.
watching or listening right now has been ignorant as well. But when you choose to be ignorant and you willfully choose it, you're no longer ignorant, buddy. You're just fucking stupid.
That's
Like,
right.
that's just the reality of it. That's where the definition of stupidity comes from, where you willfully choose, or you have just I'm gonna filter myself a
a
little bit.
regurgitated
Mm-hmm.
basis just coming out of your mouth that you've heard people say over and over again, right?
Oh yeah.
It's important to think for yourself, and you see these symbols. You see Elon Musk standing on stage with his hands together in a triangle. My man's just,
He's autistic too, you idiots.
He's just thinking. I stand with my
From
hands
one
thinking sometimes.
person,
What the fuck?
hey, from one person in the autistic spectrum, which is myself, who's not as far as Elon by any means, I can relate to that because I do the same thing when I'm in different rooms for different things. Like, I'll find myself putting my hands in weird things that make me feel fucking comfortable, which then all of a sudden someone looks at and they go, oh, he's doing this thing. It's like,
Yeah.
no, bitch. Come on, man.
So did Mr. Burns.
Smithers.
Excellent.
Excellent. Dude, I love me some Mr. Burns. He's funny. He's a piece of shit, but he's fucking hilarious, though. Anyways, back to you, Bill. Oh, I'm sorry. That's Evan over there.
Yeah, hey
Not
everybody,
even
it's
Bill.
me. I'm not Bill.
Sorry,
I don't
Bill's
know,
on the back
I don't know
shelf.
who the hell Bill is.
Bill's on the back shelf. He's the puppet.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, hey, everybody back here. That's my little guy.
He's my little
My little
dude.
guy.
He's just chilling, dude. He's just chilling. Can I take the floor real
Yeah,
quick?
go ahead. Do your thing.
All right. So,
I was looking up the triangle hand signal, what it means.
oh, sorry. Yeah, it's silly. Yeah.
Just mean-
The thing.
Yeah, it just
Oh,
means
sorry. I'll
love.
let you.
It just means
do the
love
thing.
and respect about history in Hawaii. It's all it is.
Yeah,
Mm,
that's all it is.
That's all it comes down to.
And people
Family love.
just don't seem to get it. Anyways, let's talk about this, everyone. So, I'm sure everyone heard about the whole drone hitting the Chernobyl nuclear plant.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone's like, oh my God. And they're trying to spin this narrative. Like, there's this narrative that was getting pushed. And I'm going to refrain from, sorry, I said spin. And I jumped at the gun a little bit. So let me back up real quick and why I said spin. And I'll say spin again here a little bit. So the narrative is that Russia did this. And then people started posting pictures of a Russian engine that would be made in Russia, right? It's something that was made there, whatever. That's cool. It's not like you couldn't just get one of those somewhere else.
Yeah.
Because I know of I just from a few Google searches, there's a few different places that you could get that engine.
You
and
can also
get it.
make it yourself.
You can make it yourself with that engine. So why I'm even bringing this up is because I find it highly coincidental that the moment that literally 24 hours before you hear this announcement about how Trump talked to Putin and Putin's open to basically calming shit down and coming up with a peace deal, like an actual treaty, something. All of a sudden, 24 hours later, Russia just threw this thing in here, this drone that could have fucked up everything for everyone, not just people who live in those countries, but the entirety of it. That doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, I'm just thinking about this objectively. It doesn't make sense. If Putin already said that he was open to that, One, why would he just all of a sudden attack Chernobyl? And also, why would he do that anyways? Because if it were to have caused some form of actual event to where it set off Chernobyl again, right?
Mm-hmm.
If it set it off again, that would fuck up Russia. It would fuck up Ukraine. It would fuck up everything. Russia doesn't want that.
Yeah, he came out saying that
What?
it wasn't his.
Yeah, dude, I'm just thinking logically here. Even if I was hell-bent on winning a war, why the fuck would I make sure to set off something right over here that was, when I could have just fucking thrown a nuke over if I wanted to? Why would I set that off and then also have it contaminate my fucking land too and come over into my area? And fuck, nothing about it makes any sense. I'm just saying, I'm pointing it out. Now, I'm not saying Russia didn't do it. Not going to stake that stance. But I'm saying this is worth looking into because the math ain't mathing to me. It just seems really fucking suspicious. And also the timing of it. Happened 24 hours after this whole peace talk was literally happening and it was working. And all of a sudden, this happens? This makes no sense. So, like, here, look. They're saying, let me scroll down a little bit. I just wanted you guys to see it. And this is the engine they're talking about. This one right here. That's to the, it's right there, center screen. This is what they're saying. I saw a couple posts float around on X and other social media sites where someone literally posted that fucking picture. That's it. And said, it's a Russian engine. Russia did it. I'm like, wow, you have no critical fucking thinking skills whatsoever. Like, really? Dude, just because I found a Honda engine at a fucking bomb site doesn't mean Honda did it. What? Anyways, I'm going to digress before I have a conniption fit.
That wasn't a conniption fit?
Oh, it can get way worse, guys. It can get way worse. But anyways, I'm making a point. Nothing about this adds up. The math doesn't math to me. I think that this is worth looking into. Everyone needs to be objective about this. Take your biasness and throw it to the side because something doesn't add up with it. Something stinks. And then on top of that, you've got Zelensky right now throwing a fucking little bitch fit like the bitch he is, going, no one can have conversations with anyone without me present. Shut up, bitch. You're on our dollar, our dime, against obviously the American choice. The majority of Americans don't even want to give you the money. So it's like, shut the fuck up. Like, I hate Zelensky. I'm sorry. Zelensky is the reason Ukrainians are in the position they're in. Plain and simple. And now, granted, Russians are in the same boat because of what Russia decided to do. Everyone's got a consequence in this. Everyone's guilty across the board, especially NATO. If anyone did any research into the Ukraine and Russian war, you would find out that the West decided to push the boundary and violate multiple treaties that were in place. And so Russia decided to do what they did. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't think that condones full-scale invasion, war, killing innocent people. I don't support that at all. But I see why it's like cornering a dog. That's the way it looked to me. It's like you corner a dog. Well, that dog, if he doesn't have a way out, it's a primal instinct. You're gonna bite.
You're
gonna bite back. And that's the way it looks. If you look at from the past to now, over the past 25, 30 years, and you look at that whole scale of everything that's taken place, what treaties were in place, the works. It's like, dude, you cornered a dog. He bit back. And now we're here where we are. You know what I mean? Anyways, I'm going to move on. So, back to you, Bill.
What the fuck?
There you go, Bill. There you go. Hey, what's up, Bill?
That's insane. You got to stop doing that, dude. You got to stop doing that. Going on your rants and you're scared of the camera all of a sudden, you send it over to me.
But they're turning the freaking frogs gay.
But as you said, we had to think logically here.
Yeah.
You had two world leaders saying, hey, let's stop this conflict. And then another country's leader said, yeah, let's all have talks. Two of them spoke, and then one of them got upset that he wasn't in those conversations.
Didn't concern you, bitch.
And then a quote-unquote drone strike happens. It really sounds like, well, the USAID, their funds were still being pushed somewhere, and some CIA spook somewhere sent off a drone to just
Or it may
wham.
not even been CIA. It could have been NATO or some. Who knows who it was?
It could have very well been Zelensky himself.
Yeah,
but
and he's the one throwing a bitch fit right now.
only time will tell what really transpired, of course.
Sorry, I'm going to digress. I'm all
the
up.
the logical explanation here is it is perfect timing. They all wanted a ceasefire. They all wanted the war to end, and then boom, a bomb hits. Now tensions are rising again. Sounds like somebody doesn't want it to end. It's just what it sounds like to me.
Too much money to be made at more,
So,
buddy.
with that in mind, let's wait another week to really digress on what's going to happen here. I don't think we're going to get any big information because it happened on Valentine's Day, right? Friday, February 14th.
The day of love.
So
radioactive love.
well,
Damn.
we got to take a 30,000. We got to take a 30,000 view over 30,000 point overview on this thing and really look at the large scale of it. It seems like a terroristic attack, a threat, a rise in tensions. So, do I think it's going to be the ultimate factor of the war continuing? No. I think it was an attempt to potentially draw the war further and further on. I had a Ukrainian guy come to my house just the other day. He was helping me fix some appliances at my house, and he was talking so much shit about the Ukrainian government. He says that they have been funded by the United States for 15 years now, and the tensions between Russia and Ukraine have been going on that long, and this just escalated in the past 2 years. It is a very interesting conflict that's been unfolding and happening, a very unfortunate one, to say the least. But I do hope that we can come to some sort of agreement to where they stop the conflict, because so many young adults have died due to this war. But yeah, I mean, I don't think the drone strike was an inherent attack by Russia. I will say that. I don't think that they are the ones who did it. Yep. It's very possible that there was a downed drone that somebody then reverse engineered,
Or they just
for lack
made
of
a
better
drone.
for
It's
lack
not
of
that hard.
for lack of better words, and then just took it up and flew it around.
For experimentation reasons, when I saw that, I started looking into, okay, well, how easy would it be for me to get my hands on that engine? And,
Pretty fucking easy.
Pretty damn easy. I could literally have that exact engine within a week.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Within a fucking
sale.
week. It's that fucking easy. Like, anyone who thinks just because it's a Russian engine that by proxy, Russia did it. Well, if that's the case, then it's like, okay, well, every fucking car wreck that happens, we better fucking go after the manufacturer, buddy.
I love that you look at yourself when you talk.
Well, it's right there. And it's easier because I don't want to look at the live thing, because then it's like this weird seeing myself in delay. It's fucking weird. And I always forget the camera's like right offset. So, yeah, hello. I'm looking at the camera now. But anyways, back to you.
Ben's just narcissistic is all that comes down to, everybody. We all know. We all know this guy just loves looking at us. So this room, y'all can't see it, but behind the monitors and the camera, it's just a wall of mirrors, and there's outlines of Ben's body everywhere. It's incredibly bizarre.
Yes.
Yes.
Across the board.
Very strange room to be sitting in, I gotta say. The studio.
Hell yeah, dude. You're the one who built it. Hey. It sounds like you're in love with me.
This studio is a hellscape of Ben's brain.
But anyways, do you have anything else you'd like to add about the Chernobyl thing?
I am very happy that the Chernobyl didn't explode. That the radiation that would have come from it would have been devastating. So I'm very happy it was just a simple, tiny little explosion relative to the size it could have been on the side of the building. That makes me happy.
Yeah, and well, I will say this. Let's change the subject to tune a little bit and talk about DOGE. So, as everyone may know, DOGE has now gone to the IRS. Please delete it. Get rid of IRS.
I don't want to pay my taxes.
No, fuck them. No, I don't want anything to do with it. I don't want to file my taxes this year. Get rid of those assholes. Taxation's fucking theft. We get taxed there. We get taxed on everything we purchase. We get literally taxed every fucking step along the way. Even though we already had the shit taken out of our fucking checks and we already paid our taxes, we still have to pay all these other taxes. Yeah, taxation is fucking theft. If you are too fucking stupid to understand that at this point, just stop watching.
Well, how do you pay for the roads?
Sir? Dude, do Do you want?
How do you pay for the hospitals?
Dude, do you want to open that can of worms with me right now?
How do you pay for school?
Don't you do it. I'm about to fuck that. Oh, and by the way, DOGE getting rid of the Department of Education was the best fucking thing to ever fucking happen. I know you feel very passionately about that too.
I do feel very passionately about that.
Is there any comments you'd like to give on that?
Well, yeah, the entire school district and federally run school mandates has been an upheaval of the freedom of America and the absolute devastating cause for the lack of education in America. They want to keep you as dumb as possible, and they want to keep you as uneducated as possible. That's why you come to Smartly Uneducated to learn a little bit, huh? But
hell yeah, dude, say uneducated.
These federally run public schools have been a travesty on our young adults and on me specifically as well. I mean, I was an example of the public school. I had to go out of my way to learn in other ways outside of it. And sometimes it's not the best education you can get off the fucking internet or in college even. So
yeah,
it's very important to have a state-run school system. That way they can filter what they want, and if you don't like what that state teaches your children, then you can go to another state. And it's very important that you're able to have the means and the necessities to homeschool if you feel the disease. Necessities. If you feel so obliged to do a homeschooling treatment for your children, then you should have that right as well. And then you shouldn't have to pay the fucking taxes on the public schools in your state if you don't use them. That is an insane tax that homeschoolers have to pay for public schools even if they don't use it. That is the most mind-boggling concept to me.
Yep, it is fucking.
Hey, I've never been to this school once, but I'll pay you $2,000 a year just to live in the city that it's in.
Yeah, fuck all that.
That's insane.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Absolutely insane. But yeah, so I'm very happy that the Department of Education has been disbanded, and that will provide more jobs for state mandated school districts and different ways to format education in these states. There will be a rise of education, and then the states can mandate how much they want to pay these teachers, if they want to pay them more or less, or a salary or what have you. It's going to be a very interesting time for the next 4 years for what is going to be coming out of these disbanded organizations that DOGE and the big ball community will find.
Yep.
I find it very fun. I find it very fun to watch. The anarchist in me as a young man has been very happy recently.
Oh, yeah. I'd like to read off some of the U.S. taxpayer dollars.
Okay, you have a list of it? Okay,
yeah, I just got a list.
I got some of the most notable ones on my end over here.
Okay. Do you care if I just read
go ahead,
this list?
Do your thing.
So, $10 million. So these are U.S. taxpayer dollars are going to be spent on all these following items, which have now been canceled. Thank fucking God. So $10 million for the Mozambique voluntary medical male circumcision. What the fuck?
I volunteered to get my penis circumcised.
Yeah. $9.7 million for UC Berkeley to develop a cohort of Cambodian youth with enterprise-driven skills.
What are they doing with all those foreskins, by the way?
Probably sucking on them like licorice.
Oh, what the?
They're like, oh yeah, taxpayer money. That's probably what they're fucking doing. Those fucking leeches up there, politicians, fucking cunts. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. Sorry. Anyways, moving on. So, $2.3 million for strengthening independent voices in Cambodia. Why is $32 million to the Prague Civil Society Center?
That says Prague.
Sorry, Prague. Fuck their language. Prague. Prague.
Prague.
$40 million for gender equality and women empowerment hub.
Where
is it? $14 million for improving public procurement in Serbia. $486 million to the Consortium for Elections and Political Process Strengthening, including $22 million for inclusive and participatory political process in Moldova, and $21 million for voter turnout in India. Sounds like you're fucking with people's elections.
That's exactly what it is.
That's what it sounds like, everyone. There's the camera. That's what it sounds like. We're interviewing with other people's fucking elections.
We're interfering.
Did I say? What did I say?
You said interviewing.
Oh, my bad. Interfering. Like, why the... Dude. Oh, my good. So that's just 408.
So
Yeah,
reading just that's just half of this list, right?
That's just half.
And
That's half the
and if
this
you want
quick
to
list.
read the rest of it here shortly, by all means. But it really sounds like that is money going to CIA operatives or different individuals in the field, granted FBI or black book projects, to go into these countries to manipulate how things work.
Sorry, there's one I have to read.
And it's all, I mean, of course, most of this has been public knowledge. You can go to governmentspending.gov and look it all up, but you have to know what you're looking for to find these things. So,
yeah, and the one I really want to say, 47 million for improving learning outcomes in where, everyone? Asia. What?
we got to turn your mic down.
What? Like, dude, 47 million to improving learning outcomes in Asia. To the one demographic of people who are naturally smarter than everyone else.
It's because we're helping them.
No, that money, dude, they're funneling that shit somewhere else because dude, if you look at the paper trail of money, or sorry, digital paper trail nowadays, digital paper trail of where funding comes from for education and other things within pretty much all of Asia, China's doing it. And there's a reason why China is at the scale that they're at. They're the best at making shit. Like, I'm talking about in large scale. And also their advancements with different technologies and things like, no, overall, like, dude, it's asinine. Sorry. It blows my mind.
It hurts.
It makes my brain hurt.
It hurts.
It makes me angry. I know I got like this weird grin going, but that's what I do when I see something that's so, like, it's mind-blowingly
It's
stupid.
laughable, right? It's laughable.
Oh, there's even worse ones in there,
Oh,
too.
yeah, absolutely. I have a list here of the most highlighted and notable spending issues that DOGE found. DOGE has canceled numerous contracts related to the DEI initiatives.
Thank God.
Terminations of the Department of Homeland Security, Resilient Energy and Sustainable Management Program Support Service, in the Department of Transportation for DEI program and project management were noted, totaling over $150 million.
Now, let me tell you. Sorry, can I say something on DEI?
Yeah, of course.
Because I had a personal experience.
More
with
like DIE.
Or is that what?
Never mind. That went over your
Dinner in entertainment. Anyways, so sorry. So I had a personal experience with DEI. When people say that DEI was like, no, it makes everything fair, that's not true at all. When I worked earlier, I mentioned I worked in agronomy.
Mm-hmm.
I did that for like 7 years, a long time ago. And I got to witness, because I was in management, and I got to see DEI firsthand. We hired this black guy, which nothing wrong with him being black. He was somewhat qualified. Somewhat. I personally got to see his resume and see I got to listen in on the interview. I also got to see the other candidates that came in, because we were out in the Great Plains. You know, we're in the middle of nowhere, and half the people that come in for an interview, there's not that many of them. And when they do come in, well, typically they're just some white, red, country boys who just
some
farmers.
Cornbread.
Yeah, some sons of farmers, things like that, looking for a summer job or looking for a full-time job because they're fresh out of high school and blah, blah, blah. There was 3 other candidates that had legitimate experience. I'm talking about they knew all the OSHA regulations by literally by memory. They were like just spouting it out. They didn't even need a piece of paper. Like, they knew their shit. This guy who got the job, which was the black man, which there's nothing wrong with that.
Said it again, second time.
I'm making sure to point out because it's DEI we're talking about. This guy, one, only had 2 years fucking experience. And it was for shoveling fucking grain. That's it. He had no experience working with heavy equipment. He had no experience working with hazardous materials, which we dealt with all the fucking time. He had 0 training on like watch and protect and all the safety regulations you have to know for like going inside of a bin that has grain in it from the top of a bin, top of a concrete silo that's 100 feet in the air, and you're getting rappelled down to deal with the situation in there. 0 experience. The other candidates had, some of them, I think the minimum one was a year. They still chose him. And I said, why did you hire this guy who's we're going to have to train him now. We're going to put all this extra work. We need someone who had experience. Yeah, we're going to have to train him on how we do things here, but that's any job. It's like, I literally asked my boss or the person right above me in the totem pole. I said, why did we hire him? Because he's the one who hired him. He told me privately, not at work, at home that evening. He's like, I'll call you when we get off work. That's what he told me. He called me and he said, we had to hire him. And I asked him, what do you mean we had to hire him? You're the one who hired him. And he's like, no, I was told we had to hire him or we would get in, like, basically he was going to get in trouble if we didn't hire him.
It was a fine.
Word for word. So anyone who sits there and spouts, I think it's hilarious when I hear people say, no, DEI is all about making it fair. No, it's fucking not. It's an incentive for companies to choose someone who's unqualified potentially just because of their cultural background, ethnic background, color of the skin, what the fuck ever. It's a bunch of fucking bullshit. Anyone who tries to tell you different, they have never once walked around in the real world, or they're just wearing fucking blinders, or they're willfully choosing to ignore it, and they're willfully ignorant, which means they're fucking stupid. Anyways, back to you.
God, see, that moment right there, you got to stop switching the camera to me right away.
Dude,
but
it was all you. You were the one talking. I was just pretending to move my mouth.
Hold on, we all know the way my voice sounds. That wasn't me. You're not wrong in that regard. Though,
I don't think that's happening everywhere. Don't get me wrong.
It happened a lot.
But it happens a lot.
It happened to me as well. So there was incentives to hire individuals of different sex, creed, gender, different backgrounds who have never had this experience before, to reduce receiving fines and reduce receiving punishments from the government. So keep that in mind for the past 4 years, why we've run out of things and why things have gone poorly.
But why things have gone poorly.
But yeah, I mean, now that shit's over with, we're going to actually be hiring people because of their skill and how good they are at things, not because we have to.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, but so is there any more highlights? Because I know you said you had some DOGE stuff.
Yeah. So
is there anything else?
No. They have canceled 12 different office building leases that were completely empty, reaching over $3 million in oh my God, I can't speak now. Over $3 million in annual savings. I know. Look at me. I got a stutter.
I don't know if they can hear me yell.
They can hear you. Okay, cool. Also, the HHS, the Health and Human Services, they canceled 62 contracts accounting to $182 million. They were all related to administrative expenses. So HR funds and paper and different things like that. $182 million contracts for administrative expenses. They also included a $168,000 contract for an Anthony Fauci exhibit at the NIH museum. They were just fucking throwing money around. I really regret not knowing that this was a thing, because I would have requested.
How would you have known this was a thing?
I would have requested something.
What I think is really entertaining about this is that with the DOGE report itself, is that while these numbers are being revealed showing abuse of taxpayer money, like super bad, and all we hear from politicians who are who are not a fan of what's happening is they sit there and they yell and beat their chests about how it's non-constitutional and it's illegal and like Elon Musk isn't qualified and they're stealing all your information. Bitch, he founded PayPal. Elon Musk founded PayPal. You gave him all your information already, you dumb fucks.
And on Uber.
Oh, and then, don't even get me started on the government who was handling your shit before. Oh, wait. They allowed a leak, which I don't even think was a fucking leak. I think it was intentional.
They leaked everyone's social security number.
Because guess what? That marble framework we're about to talk about looks like it may have been used on us for our social securities.
That's right.
And it does look that way because the evidence that was left behind of how this, especially the code and the network, the residual, the digital thumbprints that were left behind. Interesting, motherfucker. I know I'm dropping the F-bomb and cussing a lot right now, but talking about current news, especially with this wild stuff, dude, it just gets me all bent out of shape.
Makes you mad.
Yeah, dude. And
While the American
mhm.
people are struggling to pay their bills
Oh,
and
yeah.
struggling to take care of their families and invest and save for retirement, they're funneling money all over the world that we worked very hard for. There was $28 million that were sent to the Afghan National Army to fund their uniforms.
Really?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Get out of town.
So not only are they, there's a study, $7 million to study
Ridiculous.
magic.
What?
Yes. $7 million on project studying magic through a significant portion was allocated to a science museum in Minoy, North Dakota. Again, I mention all of this to say I really wish I knew this was happening because I would have been like, hey, USAID, I have a grant. I want to study how monkeys have sex. Please, please, I need $45 million. I also have another project that I need to study which paint dries fastest. I need another $35 million to study that one. Please, can I have it?
Also, I need like 200 million so I can find out truly if there's a point in a man's head that if you shoot it, it will blow up. That's a real study, guys. I
Yes,
really want to start
It
it.
is a real study.
I need $200 million for that to see if I shoot a man's head, if it will.
I mean, it takes a lot of
blow
ammo.
up.
It takes a lot of ammo. There's a lot of ammo.
Oh, you do so much ammo, and especially, dude, it takes like a Barrett 50 cal with
It takes 8 of them at one time.
with uranium lined rounds. That's what it takes, and I need at least 1,000 rounds just to make sure. We got at least 1,000 test subjects. We got to make sure on,
Yeah,
and they're all up there in Congress. Wait, what? Sorry, guys. No. I don't need them.
that was in Minecraft.
Back to you,
that was in
Bill.
Minecraft. Hey, I'm gonna go take a pee.
Whoa. Well, I guess it's back on to me. Anyways, well, for anyone who is still listening right now, I'm going to go ahead and open up the lines. And if you would like to make a phone call and talk about anything, any kind of other news related things, let's make a call. I will sit here and patiently wait. It's in the chat, so please call in. Oh, I believe it's in the title too. So please call in. We've got the lines open. So if you want to call in while he's taking a potty break, that's totally fine. Now, I do want to move back while, I threw that offer out there. I'll just kind of talk about Chernobyl again real quick. So I will say this. Everything about it doesn't add up. And I know that there's people right off the gun just yelling false flag alert, right? And I see a potential for it for sure. But I'm not saying just jump to that conclusion. Not saying that by any means. Don't just jump to that conclusion. Just be objective and keep your eyes open and listen and read
look how
and
nice
research.
you're sounding right now.
Well, that's because you stepped away. I had to play both roles, dude.
Yeah,
Come on, man. It's so hard. Yeah. I'm mom and dad right now, dude.
Does that make me mom? What the fuck?
I'm dad, dude.
You're
Yeah.
beating the audience into submission.
I told
listen to me. They're killing everybody. What the hell? They're taking my money.
Yeah, I told anyone listening right now.
That's my impression of Ben, by the way, everybody.
They're taking my money. I told anyone listening right now if they wanted it's saying that it could prevent calls. What is happening here? Sorry, I just saw this thing on here that said that it could prevent calls if I wasn't signed into a certain workspace. So now I'm going to do that real quick. Would you like to read anything else while I do that?
Yeah. Typical electronic issues. Technical difficulties on our end. It seems to be a leading cause for us to diverge. But I don't know if y'all been paying attention to politics and what's been going on. It really feels like Trump is just doing a daily podcast every single day. He just gets onto camera and microphones and just says what he's doing for the day or what he did yesterday. It is the most transparent government we've had ever.
Okay. Hey, we fixed the
With-
thing. I got it fixed. So the lines are, there shouldn't be any issue if anyone were to call in. So if you tried to call and it didn't work, I apologize. It is fixed now. So please, if you're available and you want to call, please call. Sorry.
Very cool. Very cool. But yeah, so I mean, there have been countless presidents who have ran on the platform of transparency. Obama was one, Clinton was one, Hillary Clinton was one, George Bush was one, and now we have Trump in office for his second term, where he's not fucking around. You see that he has the mugshot in the Oval Office?
Yeah, I love that, dude.
Very funny.
Dude, that's like a troll moment. I would too.
It's very funny.
Dude, if I went through the crap that he went through, I would do the same damn thing. I'd be like, hell yeah, dude, I'm going to put that right up there in the Oval Office. I'm going to hang it right on the wall, and everyone can take a good look at it, because look where I'm at, motherfucker. I'm right here. That's what I would do, the same thing. But, you know, that's just me.
But yeah, it just feels like he's doing like a daily podcast. You know, there's a lot of 15-minute podcasts that are out there that just go about and say what they have seen in the news yesterday, and they just update everybody. It really feels like he just gets on camera, gets on mic, and just tells you what he's been doing. And I really like that. It's a refreshing take to have an actual transparent politician in the office. It's very bizarre. A lot of people don't like it because they're not used to having their elected president go on film and go on camera and go on audio recording almost every single day, just saying what he's doing and what's going on and who he's talking to and what his plan is for the next day and the next week. It's a very bizarre feeling to have that. And I said it twice now, I like it. I think it's fun. I think it's very cool that we can go back from the start of his presidency and see what he's done and how he's done it. And he's talked about it and openly discussed his plans. I think it's fantastic. And I think a lot of presidents going forward in the future need to take a note out of his playbook in that regard.
Yeah.
Even if they may not be somebody who I align with or like or care about, they need to go out of their way to always be on camera.
Be transparent.
It is
Because
very
like
cool.
all the stuff they're doing when they're talking, there's not even a teleprompter, man.
Oh yeah, he's just in a room chit chat.
This is literally just open talking, no script in front of them. Like it's yeah.
People ask him questions. How do you feel about Benghazi? Oh, this is how I feel about it. How do you feel about this? Oh, this is how I feel about it. What do you want to do about this? This is what I'm going to do about it. Who are you going to have run this department? Haven't thought about that yet.
Right.
Good question. I'm going to work on it.
It's my turn to go pee.
It's pee-pee time for Ben.
Yes, sir.
So yeah,
You're gonna see me walk right behind you on camera.
all of you who are hearing the sound of my voice, please subscribe. Go out of your way. Share us all around the world. Share us to all your grandmothers, all your friends and family. Make them listen to us. You can also call in today. You can call in every episode. The number is always going to be available. It's 469-659-7364. I don't know if Ben just said it because I was out of the room, but hey, here I am. Here's my chance. So always happy to have y'all here. Always happy to be here. Hope y'all having fun with us today, huh? Call in. Tell me how you feel about the transparency of our most recent government. Tell me if you like it or you don't like it. The oversight that they're having. Tell me if you think that Elon may be overstepping his rule or his concept in nature. You gotta forgive me. I had a pizza last night. I'm a little lactose intolerant. My throat's a little flimmy today. But hey, anyway. Hope you all had a wonderful Valentine's Day, by the way. It's Sunday, the 2 days after Valentine's Day. It's a beautiful time out there. Again, the weather's beautiful. The day's great. But yeah. If you're listening and you like what we're talking about, here's a little bit more. Consulting and administrative contracts. DOGE terminated 20 consulting contracts focused on strategic communication and executive coaching. Coaching executive class individuals, that was $26 million. It's just, there's just so much. There's just so much, right? News flying by you. Everything's happening all at once. Everything's happening so fast. How do you stay up to date? How do you stay focused? And what is the most important thing for you? I'm going to say it every single time. You need to take care of your family. And it's very important to think about the people in your life that are every single day and near you. If the news becomes overwhelming, go hug your dog. Go take care of your family. And Ben's back. You see him right here. Hello, Ben. Say hi to the people.
Hello.
But yeah, so are you ready to move on to the Vault 7 WikiLeaks?
Yeah, I want to get into the Marble framework.
Yeah, very cool.
And talk about that.
You seem to love this one, and you find it very scary. So
I do find it scary.
It is important to let the people know that Julian Assange is the individual who released this to the world, right? And on WikiLeaks that he went to prison to do.
Oh yeah. So let me pull this up real quick.
Absolutely.
So just to show you guys where we got everything from, let me scroll back down. There we go. So this is where everything came from, everyone. Now this is on wikileaks.org. I'm going to switch the screen just so you guys can see. This is where you guys can go view this yourself. So here's the Marble framework. If you click on the Marble framework source code, it will come up with a zip file. If you download that, you will find it has numerous files in it, and I will give you a hint. Within these files, keep digging. That's all I'm going to say is keep digging. It's a little, what's the best way to put it?
Hidden?
It's a little Easter egg for you in there. Because even if you go into File Explorer, when you open up this zip file and you go view all, like view hidden, you're not going to see everything. I mean, you will see some. You're going to see a lot of files. There's still a lot of files in there. There's still a ton, but there's going to be even more if you're able to see past that, because within some of the files is other embedded files that are not visible. And yes, like I said, I know code and I do a little bit of programming. Let's just say that. And I was able to find it. And let's talk about that. So first of all, let's just say what the Marble framework really is.
Oh, you're going to break it down real quick, huh?
So the Marble framework is not like a single kind of like virus, like an independent virus or a single piece of malware. It is literally a full suite of tools. It's a tool set suite. And this is what it's designed for. One, I always screw up saying this word just because I want to say obscure when I see it, but it's actually called
Obfuscating.
Obfuscation, which is just basically means hiding malware inside foreign looking code. That's all that means. The next is attribution manipulation. And that's basically just making it to where cyber attacks look like they came from somewhere else.
Yeah, absolutely.
It could be China, Russia, Vietnam, Korea, Beijing, you name it. It doesn't matter. It would make it look like it came, Iran, Iraq. The list, you could use any.
It could be Joe Schmo down the street.
Yep. And they can make it look like the cyber attack came from somewhere else. And flawlessly, I might add. And the last little bit is anti-forensics. Basically, it's designed to, one, erase all of its digital thumbprint and then reapply it to where it looks like it came from somewhere else, hence the forensic side of things. So when people look into this stuff and go, hey, we were under some form of attack, let's look into it. And they're like, oh, we were attacked. Look, we can see exactly where it came from after we did a little digging. It came from Russia. When really it didn't. It actually came from somewhere else. And it makes it to where you can't track it back to its source. It's that well, because I got to look at the code. And holy shit, is that code actually well done.
So let me break it down a little bit dumber, because I'm not so privy and brain and computer smarts in this regard. I understand computers, I understand how they work, I understand the code, and I can write a little bit myself. But the CIA has created viruses that they can just put on your computer by you clicking on an image. Simple as that, right? They have created to where if you own a computer, it is on your computer. If you own a phone, it is on your phone. And they can break into it and say it was SpongeBob who did it. Anybody can have done it, right? It's not just Iraq, Iran, China.
Can I give
if there was a DDoS, it was probably the CIA, and they blamed it on somebody else.
Can I give a good kind of like summarization in like one tiny sentence to kind of like paint the picture of what it really is. Basically, think of it as like a cyber weapon disguise kit.
Yeah. Boom.
So basically, it doesn't actually perform the attack, but it makes it so where the attack is 100% untraceable to the source.
That's right.
So that's why I said it's a tool set. So the tool set does all of that, but it also has additions. So attribute and like basically like plugins. You can pair it with other malware that it would shoot off, use as a payload instead of using something it has within itself, because it's not designed for that. It's literally made to be the vessel that gets things where it needs to go. It's the gun. It's what shoots the bullet. It doesn't have the bullets. The bullets are not manufactured by the gun manufacturer. It's from someone else.
That was one sentence.
Yeah, I know. I'm making sure people understand this is not what creates the first line I said summed it up. I'm just going into more clarification. So
It's a run-on sentence for me.
now, look, how about this? Why don't we just talk about how it works? How about that?
Yeah.
You want to talk about how it works? So
No, hold on. I think it's absolutely frightening that the WikiLeaks website has all of these different viruses called Vault 7 that they released that the CIA created. Flat out, that is what it is. And if you download these PDFs describing it, guess where these motherfucking things are? On the PDFs, on the download. I know Ben said it, but if you download these PDFs and you do a little bit of digging into it, all of the malware and viruses are on these for you to use. It is freaky as hell.
yeah, and they've been up for years, dude.
Since 2017.
And I have a whole thing about that.
Yeah.
At the end.
Freaky as hell.
I saved it for the end, just for the closing of Marble Framework, to talk about that part of
Well,
it.
I done ruined it.
Or
I
closely-
done
No, you haven't-
ruined it.
No, you haven't ruined shit, bro.
If you're just not joining in with us, I see you all coming in late. Thank you all for joining us. Hope you're having a wonderful Sunday. We're talking about all sorts of shit today. So,
Yeah.
pop it over to Ben here to break it down a little bit more.
Oh, thank you, buddy. Thank you. So, like I said, if you're just now tuning in, we're talking about the Marble Framework, which is a CIA secret. Well, not so secret anymore.
No, it is not a secret.
Leaked on WikiLeaks back in I think it was 2017. And yeah, it was March 31st of 2017. It got leaked. And basically, it is an anti-forensics malware tool set. So we are just kind of going into that. So let's talk about how it works, though. Because, so basically, the CIA would infect a target using basically a custom malware payload. And, like, for instance, like it could be a Trojan, a keylogger, remote access tool, any of them. And then before deployment, the Marble Framework would then scramble the malware signature so it looks like it came from basically a foreign country. It could come from anywhere. Hell, even if they wanted it to look like it came from somewhere within, they could do that, which there's stuff on that I'll add later. So, elections. So there's that. Now, when basically a cybersecurity like team, we're talking about blue team here, because you have red team and blue team in cybersecurity. Red team is for attacking, blue team is for defense. So basically on the blue team side, so when cybersecurity blue teams basically analyze the attack, they would find a Russian or Chinese or Arabic style code. It literally rewrites the code so it looks like it came from a foreign country. And it does it so damn flawlessly, because I got to look at this code, and I actually have breakdowns of these codes that I wrote little notes on that I'm going to read to you guys here in a little bit.
That's very cool.
But basically, it will make it look like it can't, they find like a Russian or a Chinese or Arabic style code, and then basically tricks them into thinking that it was a foreign nation that was behind it, things of that nature. So now the malware also contains basically like a anti-forensic tools to erase traces of its execution. And I can tell you right now, after seeing that the logic modules that are in there in the actual code itself, well, no wonder it does it so well. It's not, I wouldn't say it's iron proof, like it's bulletproof or something. Like there's always a way to find something. But this thing does it so damn well that there's a reason why people fall for it, and they fall for it damn near 10 out of 10 times every time. It's very well made. I'm being serious right now.
Scarily.
It's scarily well made. Now, so basically, this means that every cyber attack that basically has been blamed on a foreign country or a foreign nation, whatever, especially Russia, China, or Iran, could have actually been the CIA using the Marble framework literally the entire time. Now, the language trick. So, all right. So this is going into false flag type operations. One of the most damning features of the Marble framework is that it contains code
Obfuscation.
I know. I always screw
Say
that
it with
word
me
up.
now, Ben.
I just can't speak today. Obfuscation techniques in literally multiple, like we're talking about a plethora of languages, and some of them, and these are just highlighted just because they're like big, they're the countries that everyone talks about all the time: Russia, Chinese, Arabic, Farsi, which is Iranian, and then Korean. So yeah, if you didn't know what Iranian spoke, it's called Farsi. Come on, guys.
Get with the program.
Get more progressive, everyone. Come on. Come on. So basically, this means that the CIA, or sorry, I misspoke. I jumped ahead in my notes. So basically, this means that if cybersecurity experts find Russian-style code in an attack, it doesn't actually mean Russia did it. The CIA literally can plant foreign language markers into its malware to frame another country. Now, so here is an example. The Russia hacking of 2016 U.S. election. So the U.S. blamed Russia for hacking the Democratic National Committee, the DNC. However, cybersecurity experts found Russian-style code in the attack. Just blatantly there. Now, if you look into it, I'm being serious. If you go and read the forensics reports that were done about the 2016 election, literally, you will find they're not even trying to hide it. It's just right there. It's just right fucking there. How convenient. Why would it just be sitting there so easily seen? Anyone who hacks, anyone who knows cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is my background. I can tell you right now, the first rule of cybersecurity, if you're on the red side of it, which is the attacking side, you don't want to get caught.
You don't want to be seen.
And you want to cover your tracks. And I can tell you right now, after seeing that forensic report, whoever the blue team cybersecurity team is that did it, I wonder how much they were getting fucking paid.
A lot.
Because it was blatantly obvious that is a red flag. The fact that it was just sitting right there out in the open when you looked into it. And it's just like, well, it's Russian. Because we're smart in Russia. They wouldn't by chance have hackers or anyone who understands technology that would be, that could hide something like that. No, dude, I know 3 people off the top of my head that are younger than me by like a decade younger than me. They're like 22 years old. They even know, hide your shit. I wouldn't even. I've talked to them about this too because they actually reached out to me. I'm not going to name names because I don't know if, I'll just call him Cyber Steve.
Oh, yeah, he's been on here before.
Yeah. So me and him talked about it, and he has a background in cybersecurity, and he even was like, he's like, dude, that's a red flag, man. Like, I don't buy it because he's like, said the exact same thing I'm saying is that, the first rule is like, hide your tracks. If they want, now the people would take the route of like, what if they wanted us to know? Well, that doesn't do any good either way because then if it becomes known, there are laws in place that would make the election get scrapped and they would have to start over. Mm-hmm. That's a real thing too. So everything about it doesn't add up. So now the question is, what if that was planted using the Marble framework, right? Because that's what I'm getting at. Well, if the CIA used Marble, the attack could have been a U.S. based, but just to make it look like it's a Russian attack. Like, flawlessly, yet again, I'm going to say the word, flawlessly do that. So the same logic applies to cyber attacks blamed on China, Iran, North Korea. Marble destroys literally all of the credible digital forensics that would be needed to prove it was them. That's how scary this shit is, dude. It deletes everything. It literally does it so well that even if, like, for instance, if it wasn't for like a red flag, let's say they actually tried to cover their tracks, they did use the Marble framework, and then instead of just leaving a thumbprint, just so blatantly obvious.
Yeah.
But they tried to hide that too. I would not, dude. That would be a very complicated task to try to figure out where it came from. It'd be
Gotcha.
so fucking hard. It would be beyond hard. It would be something where it's like, we have no idea how this happened after we just did an in-depth, analysis and investigation. We have,
They're taking.
we need more time.
They're taking framework to a whole nother level, right? Because they are purposefully framing other countries for what they're doing. Framework simply means things like how it's built and why it's built, right? Like framework in the world of coding is the structure, right?
Yeah. Now, I probably, well, you know what? Never mind.
So they're taking it to a whole nother level, right?
Mhm.
They're framing other people's work on them. So the CIA will break in and say, "Holy shit, we found this is happening. I think Russia's doing it."
I think
But
Russia's doing
when
it.
really it's the U.S. government doing it. And all of the whistleblowers that have come out in the recent, 15 years, saying that the CIA is the one who is manipulating the world mass,
Yeah.
And this is a prime example of modern day technological manipulation.
Mhm.
They are purposefully undermining your knowledge of the internet and technology by doing a bad thing and blaming somebody else.
Mhm.
It is very damning in the future world of technology and cyber attacks.
Yep.
America is incredibly vulnerable to cyber attacks. We are not prepared for anything serious to ever come our way.
Yep.
It has happened many, many times to where we
Mhm.
have been actually attacked. But now the question begs, was it all the CIA's doing? Or was it actually another company's doing it or another
Oh.
country doing it, right?
Oh, I got more for you too.
Oh, I love to
I
hear
made sure to
that.
put. I threw my notes up here on the big main screen so you could see them too. So
I
that way,
love to hear that.
yeah, my bad. I realized that you didn't have a copy
see
of my
it now.
notes, so I threw it up there.
So yeah, it's very damning and very, very scary that they can easily manipulate something and be like, "Oh no, Putin did that. We got to blame Putin for manipulating the presidential election. We didn't do any of that. Here's the proof. Look at this code that we found.
Yep.
They broke in."
Yep. Now, the anti-forensic stuff. So let's talk about the capabilities. Like, so,
what
how
does
does
that,
it cover it?
what does that even mean in the cybersecurity world?
Which part?
The forensics.
Well, finding traces of what they did. Everything leaves some form of thumbprint. So it could be everything from maybe packets left behind or code, embedded code that was in things. There are numerous things you could find
Names. So somebody could put their username in there.
if they wanted to.
Okay, so it could be anything, right?
I mean, you've wanted to, but that they wouldn't do that. They wouldn't do that at all. I'm talking about like if I was a blue team guy going in and looking at that, I'm not expecting to see a username.
Correct. Yeah, but if
That's
you're
not gonna happen.
if you're a defensive forensics analyst for this sort of concept, you're looking for blatant, obvious things.
Yeah, I'm
or-
looking for basically like code. I'm looking for where code was manipulated, where it left basically the best way to word it is a thumbprint.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And you would see that within traffic. You would see that, especially if you're capturing traffic and you record that traffic, you're able to go back and look at that traffic and look for anything that's trying to disguise
But now
itself,
that-
that slipped through the cracks.
But now
you name it.
using Marble framework, the traffic on there isn't the actual traffic that happened, right?
No, it's all made up. If they were recording the traffic, they're looking at what manipulated the stuff, what went in and broke it,
Yeah.
what went in, and there's gonna be code.
Mhm.
There's gonna be now. Don't get me wrong. Depending on the payload that they used with the tool set to cause the event to actually carry through and happen, that's a little different because that payload, I can tell you right off the bat that there's a couple payloads I know of right off the bat that basically the moment it's done, you ain't gonna find a fucking trace of it. I mean, shit. Let's talk about Pegasus 2.
Yeah.
That's something to think about. What if you coupled the Marble framework with Pegasus 2? How fucking terrifying is that? If anyone who doesn't know what Pegasus 2 is, so Pegasus 1 was something the CIA developed as well. And basically, Pegasus, the first version of it, let's say you got a text message on your phone, and it was let's say it was mimicking a Facebook notification, right? And you click the link that's in there saying like, "Hey, is this you? We need to verify that you blah 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 blah." This is just a rough example, and you click it. Well, you just gave it instant access because you engaged with it. You established the digital handshake between the two.
The connection.
And it was allowed in because the bodyguard on this side and the bodyguard on this side were like, "Hey,
What's
we're
up, homie?"
cool. Yeah, what's up, dude?"
Yeah.
Came right in, and it's in, and it has full rights, do whatever it wants. Pegasus 2, however, all they need is your fucking phone number. Then you don't even have to open a link. You don't have to click it. I got to see what Pegasus 2 does because I caught a glimpse of it. Now, there's YouTube videos of people talking about this. There's all this other stuff, blah, 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 blah. But the thing is, I got to see firsthand what Pegasus 2 did. And it's terrifying because how do you stop that?
You can't.
You can't. If it has your phone or has your email, it's in. That's simple. Like, it can send you a text message. All it has to do is it has to be within that text message and it gets sent to you. You don't have to open it. It's in. That's how advanced this fucking thing is. And imagine if you coupled that with Marble Framework. What? Dude, you ever in this world, you think, oh, hey, I need to protect my home. I need to protect, like, for instance, your physical house, right?
Your family,
my house
your
here.
friends. And
I want to protect my home. So what do I have? I have dogs. I have dogs you don't want to fuck with because they fuck you up. I also own guns, and I defend my home, and I defend my family. But we also live in a digital bubble. But we were literally, imagine the world if you could take away the physicality of the world, and eliminate that part of it. All you would see
is a Roomba taking pictures of you shitting.
Yeah, if anyone missed that, just so you know, don't own a Roomba. It's taking a picture of you, and it's putting it up on the internet. That just came out this past week. Poor lady. Bunch of pictures of her taking a big old dookie. I can't believe you threw that.
She's taking a squeege.
Oh, squeegee. Anyways, so I swear to God, dude. So I forgot where I was.
You were talking about the defense of your home and defense of the electrical.
So if you take away the physicality, the visual representation of what's physical in our world, you would find an exact replica digitally of our world. If you're looking at from outer space and you see the globe, imagine a digital globe, and you would see a spider web of everything connecting into everything, everyone's homes, to other devices in their homes, all these spider web lines constantly going everywhere. We are fully immersed and meshed into a digital landscape now. So the fact of the idea of thinking that taking Pegasus 2, something that if it just even knows your fucking phone number, it's in, and it's been equipped as a payload within the with Marble Framework tool set, using that as its payload, using Pegasus 2, game over. How are you supposed to stop that?
What are you gonna do?
Like, yeah, and then it just makes me wonder, all these cyber attacks that keep happening, right? All these cyber attacks that keep happening within the U.S., this is just my this is my conspiracy brain, okay? I'm going to throw this out there before I start digging into the Marble Framework again and going through the rest of it. But I can tell you right now that, think about this. And I just drew a blank. I don't know why.
Think about this.
My brain just went away. I don't know what just happened
Now,
there.
think about
It
this.
just poof, gone. I hate that when that happens.
You ever thought about this?
Actually, no, because I'm not thinking anything right now.
So
Damn it, I just drew a blank.
Yeah,
It will come right back.
It's
to me.
I don't know. Yeah, how do you defend against something that's unstoppable, right? You can't stop oxygen from breaking in. You can't stop weather from happening. How do you stop a CIA technological cyber attack on all of the world?
Well, okay. It just came back to me because you said that. That just it plays right in. Thank you, dude.
Don't
I love
forget
you so much. Don't say that. Anyways, so think about all the cyber attacks that have happened just within the past 12 months, right? You had the what was the I forgot what the name of it was. The one that happened where it targeted Microsoft and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, the
you know what I'm talking about.
Oh shit.
No, fuck. What is it called?
It starts with a C, right? Or
the thing that was the cornerstone that broke everything, and it caused airports to go down. It caused grocery stores to go down. What was that that company called, or their product?
Brother,
Do you remember?
I forget.
I forget. Anyways, my point is that, like, look at that one.
CrowdStrike.
CrowdStrike. All right. Yeah, thank you. The CrowdStrike incident that happened. Well, here's the fun fact about Marvel Framework. It's designed to it's literally catered to Microsoft. Specifically. It's literally specifically catered to fucking Microsoft. And what was the big deal about CrowdStrike? Oh, CrowdStrike is like the cornerstone of the security aspect.
Yes, it is.
Of Microsoft. Oh, so what is it to say that wasn't Marvel Framework doing its thing? I'm being serious right now.
It's very possible.
Because you look at all the cyber attacks with all the, especially finding out from the DOGE reports, because we talked about that earlier, that basically all these secret things have been going on and funding, obviously not within the American people's interest by any means. It just makes you wonder. And especially the fact that you find out in the DOGE report that all of the big main media, every media company, mainstream media company, is on the fucking payroll. Let that fucking sink in. Have you ever watched the videos of everyone saying the same thing over and over? The compilation where they take every news agency and have them all do their nightly news routine and they compile it into one fucking video? Dude, they say the exact same fucking thing.
Yeah.
Well,
They're still doing it.
well, they're on a fucking payroll.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, let's talk about the CrowdStrike thing. And let's talk about all the other attacks. Who's to say? I'm not even going to rule out this possibility. This is how deep it goes. Because I understand the gravity of this situation, of what it's capable of. Basically, it comes to a point where it's like, well, shit, what if all these cyber attacks are claiming are happening from other countries, or actually been happening from within this whole entire time? So, and then the media spins a narrative because everyone's on the fucking take, and then next thing you know, you've got Russia, you bastards, Palestine, Israel, this, that. You guys get what I'm laying down? Do you feel what I'm fucking laying down on the
Global
concrete here?
manipulation.
Yes. And hence why I put it in the title. But no, seriously, you can't even rule that out. That's what's so scary to me. It's like, how far does it go?
It goes all the way.
And I'm inclined to think that too. Right now, you guys better be fucking happy that Trump and Elon are in there doing what the fuck they said they were going to do for the past fucking 6 months. I'm just saying. Because all this shit's getting exposed. And by the way, I'm going to throw this out there because I meant to mention it earlier. The moment Trump became president, if you look up for Washington, D.C.
Yes, I was going to mention that too.
Yeah. If you look up for Washington, D.C., all of a sudden there was an insane spike. Like, we're talking about by 10,000 fucking percent or some crazy. It was something crazy like that of everyone looking for lawyers.
Not just that.
Not even just
search
lawyers,
history of how to wipe hard drives called BleachBit. How to send money offshore to bank accounts.
Mm-hmm.
All sorts of different actions of that. The amount of searches to manipulate the money and how they can save themselves spiked so significant. It is damning, if anything, right?
Yep.
It's, hey, we're going to find all this shit out. And now all these executives and Congress people and rich, wealthy people who have been taking money from the American taxpayers are like, oh shit, I got to hide my stuff now.
Yep.
I would love to see the IP addresses of these individuals and how they're associated with each other. Because if it's coming straight from it's straight coming. It's coming from Congress. It's in the offices of like Nancy Pelosi.
Dude, like, you got like Elizabeth Warren, who is a liar, by the way. You go watch her fucking bullshit from 2008 and 2009. She's a fucking liar. Everything she says is a fucking bullshit. She's on the take. She's getting money.
Yeah, she is.
And she's like, I better play ball. We got to band together now, guys, because
she's scared. She's scared of losing her money and her sponsors, and she's scared of going to jail.
All
or
these
prison.
corrupt fucks that are in there Don't you dare waste taxpayer money and put them in a fucking in some type of bullshit.
Hold. You need. I'm gonna stop you right here.
No, okay, yep, thank you.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop you right there. You shouldn't be.
I know, thank you.
You shouldn't be going off the rails like that.
This is why you're my co-host, and you're the voice of reason half the time.
But these individuals are.
Thank you for that.
Are losing their fucking mind. They're scared shitless because the hand of God is coming to get them in terms of prison sentences and in terms of financial repercussions. There is about to be a quote unquote mass awakening, a great awakening.
It's already
right?
happening, dude. If the great awakening's real, it's now. It's happening.
I know. This is a part of it, right? But
I'm guising it that way.
It's only
if
been
real,
a
it's
month, dude.
now.
It's only been a month.
Only a month.
What are they gonna? Well, I know we said last week it's only been 2 weeks. It's only been 1 week. Imagine a year from now, how clean our government's going to be, how efficient it'll be running, how much money is going to be in our pockets because of it, and how well the roads are going to be working, and where the money is going to be going to actual construction and well-being of our civilization. It's going to be beautiful.
Protect my home. So what do I have? I
well,
have dog. My bad.
I can't. Ben's like, I'm telling you,
I just hit the wrong button.
narcissist.
My
He
bad.
likes hearing his own voice.
The
There's
stream
mirrors
kicked
all
on.
over the walls.
Sorry, I accidentally clicked on the window that had the stream in it, and it started playing the volume. My bad. That was an accident.
But yeah, so all these people who are raking in money like a poker room, taking gambles on each other, are freaking out, looking for ways to hide their money, hide their debts, hide their spending. They're freaking out. And ladies and gentlemen, that is a good thing.
Yep.
This is a very, very good thing.
Yep.
You will see on mass media that they are panicking. They're scared. They're worried. This is a bad thing that they're saying it is. It is. This is not a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing.
Don't be confused. Don't be taken back by all these people fear-mongering you to think our taxpayer money should be paying these people more, that BlackRock and Vanguard and State Street should be the ultimate superpower of our country. You'll hear people talk about Elon Musk not being elected. Let's make it very clear. This guy was on the entire payroll. Payroll is probably the wrong phrase. He was on the entire train of the Trump run. The election processes. He said, I'm going to take the richest man in the world who's technologically savvy, and he's going to build his team and see where our money is going. It's absolutely asinine to think that this is a bad thing. This is a very good thing.
You want to go? I'm gonna grab something real quick. If you want to if you want to keep going through
if there was
Marvel framework.
if there was an intermission we can put up.
Oh, there's not, dude. There's not. So if you wouldn't mind, I'm gonna grab something real quick.
Absolutely. So we have here
we're getting back into the Marvel.
Yeah.
Oh.
So in the WikiLeaks Vault 7 process, there was about 10 different hacking and malware practice that you could go find. Ben and I targeted this Marble one because it is the most damning and scary one available that you can go and find easy and find a lot of information on. There's all sorts. You have one called Dark Matter. You have one called Grasshopper, Hive, Weeping Angel, Scribbles, Archimedes, After Midnight, and the list goes on. It is long, and they are all based out of CIA, different cyber warfare techniques to manipulate the globe. Global manipulation is a very real thing, ladies and gentlemen. We have right here code scrambling and obfuscation. I'm not sure if Ben already mentioned this, but you have Marble has automated scripts that are randomizing malware code. So you hear the word malware, you're like, I'll just get McAfee. I'll just get the McAfee antivirus to get in there. That's not going to work. You're going to have the code is going to be so scrambled that it's not going to understand what it is, and it's going to be constantly changing. It changes every time it is activated. So if you go to look at it, it changes. If you click on a different image, it changes. It's always different, always changing, and that's what makes it so hard to detect and so scary. Because if you were trying to defeat this virus, this malware, you ain't doing that.
Yeah, where are you at right now?
I just read A, code scrambling and obfuscation.
Okay, so you already did that first part.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you care if I jump in?
No, I'm drinking my beer.
Awesome. So the next is layered encryption. So Marble uses multiple layers of encryption to make forensic analysis extremely difficult. And even if someone finds the malware, they can't easily decode it either, because
It's always changing.
always changing, and it's
So I gotta ask, why this one out of all of the other ones? Is this one the scariest or the most important to talk about?
because this plays into so many massive events potentially that have happened, not just within our own country, but other countries. Because this is also basically, there's a lot of not even just speculation. There's a lot of circumstantial thought and evidence that is out there right now that people have talked about. That basically ever since this got leaked and people found out
In
about it.
2017.
Yeah, and they got to see what the code does. They got to see what it does. And there's like, holy shit. Well, we saw kind of similar things over here during the election in this country over here and this country over here. And that's just, I just said election as an example, and that's one of many, because there are actual talks happening and have been going on for several years now of, was this used on us? Because we're seeing evidence potentially that it may have been.
Yeah.
And and it's over in other countries, not just here. This is globally. America.
So
America.
that begs
Team America. We're Team America.
I'm trying to
World
fucking
Police.
talk here.
I'm just saying, Team America. There's a reason Matt Stone and Trey Parker made the jokes they did in that movie.
That begs the question:
plays into
the one world order, the new world order, the one global government.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the underlying goal of this? That
No.
America wants to be the superpower?
No, the New World Order bullshit everyone likes to talk about. I don't buy it for 2 seconds. I think that already happened a long time ago
okay,
with the
well,
Federal
yeah.
fucking Reserve. This is just an advancement of technology, and they saw a way to use it to serve their benefit, because they could affect everyone. They could manipulate more. They could control more, because not only are they able to force an outcome, they can create an outcome of whatever they wanted. Because one, you got people on the take, and then on top of that, you've got a tool set that literally allows you to be able to go in and manipulate and do whatever you want, and then be able to not be traced back to its source and make it look like it was someone else, or just make it look like it was normal.
Dude.
That's another thing that I forgot to mention. They can make it look like it was just a normal another day at the beach.
It was supposed to happen.
It was supposed to happen that way. That's why it's so fucking terrifying. This is why I chose it, because this applies to levels across all spectrums at this point. And
I don't even know.
that's
man.
why it's so fucking scary.
I don't even know.
Well, let me throw another scary thing at
oh
you.
shit.
Because the last thing inside this whole, like the anti-forensic capabilities, is the fact that it has self-destruction mechanisms literally wrote into it. And I know all about that, mainly because I have a background in cybersecurity. I've played with payloads. I've created my own payloads. And I can tell you right now, of course, in a controlled environment.
Yeah.
But I can tell you right now, after seeing its code, well, no wonder no one can find shit on it, and it's so flawless. It destroys any kind of evidence left behind. Look, so some versions of the framework of Marble can literally do self-deleting mechanisms. It will delete what it just did, showing what it did.
That's amazing.
It will just wipe it. I understand if you're not a programmer, you're not a coder, you don't understand that side of things. That's why I'm taking these moments to go like that, because I don't know how to explain this without saying and putting out jargon that will be something that goes right over your head or go in one ear, one out, and out the other.
Yeah.
And it's not because I think you guys are stupid or anything like that. It's just, if you don't know programming, you don't know coding, and you've never even understand anything about it or even how it works, then
it's hard to grasp.
It will become very hard to grasp. So yeah. So like I said, it can erase itself, bro. It's insane. And now, real quick, I want to touch on something, and that's up here at the top. So I want to tell you guys about pretty much the code that was in it, right? There it is. So first and foremost, inside that, if you go to WikiLeaks and you download the files, right? And like I said earlier, if you download them and it has the coding files in it, it's got all of them. And I broke it down into what it is comprised of and what is it used for. So basically, that zip file will contain all the scripts, configuration files, programming code, and it's all predominantly written in PowerShell, C++, and Visual Studio, like kind of project formats. So basically, so PowerShell scripts. Let's talk about that. So the PowerShell scripts you'll find in it. What this will do would be automate the deployment, or maybe this script that you see in there, maybe it was used for testing the Marble framework in itself. It's kind of universal code, or it could be applied for both. Because if you're testing something, well, you're testing the final product inside of a controlled environment first, and then it's like, okay, it works. We've tested it across these boards. We've done all these different variations, all these variables into the place of it, and boom, works. This is the final version. Good to go. Now we're going to use it live, and this is what we're using from here on out. So basically, the PowerShell scripts are mainly for automating the deployment, and then you've got it also. So the PowerShell scripts would also be for basically executing the obfuscation techniques, like we were talking about earlier, and then now another thing is that if you are unfamiliar with PowerShell coding, and let's say you have kind of of it, right? You've heard of it. Well, PowerShell is often, like the last thing I was going to add was that PowerShell, the reason why they're using PowerShell scripts is that it can be used for kind of stealth execution, because you're talking straight to behind the curtain to the operating system in the source code. It doesn't get any stealthier than that in that regard when it comes to PowerShell. I don't know. You stepped out. I don't know if you want me to repeat that last little bit I just said about PowerShell, the stealth execution.
No, you're fine. I read it a little while ago.
Now, the next, so let's talk about C++. So in there, you're going to see C++ header files. You're going to see a lot of them. And I can tell you right now, this would be more than likely part of the core malware framework. It would define all the functions, classes, variables, anything related to obfuscation and execution. I feel like I said that right.
Obfuscation.
Obfuscation. Obfuscation.
Ben speaks English well.
Obfuscation, right? Anyways, but the CIA, overall, they do a lot of things in C++ because, well, high performance and then low-level kind of malware deployment. So you're going to get, anyways, that's C++ for you. But now, now when I was saying like the Visual Studio project formats, we're talking about like Visual Studio solutions. So like basically they would use Visual Studio Code, VSC.
Yeah.
You would use that because it's a universal thing. It works extremely well. I use VSC.
I do as well.
And when I saw that it had all this like Visual Studio formats in there, I was like, oh, they're using VSC, bro. Like, what? Like, yeah. The CIA even uses open source.
That's how good it is.
Yeah. So basically, it just confirms that the full malware development framework is built for Windows systems because it's in Visual Studio format. And then, basically this would also suggest that multiple compiled components, ooh, I misspoke. Sorry. This would also say that like multiple file, God damn, I can't speak right now. Multiple compiled components, dude, I am killing myself right now with speaking. Anyways, but basically it would be used for obfuscation and deployment. So the last one though is like the kernel and user mode configuration files. And those are the ones that are really interesting. They're all interesting to look at. But if you don't understand code and programming, I don't recommend looking at it because you won't know what the fuck you're looking at. But kernel and user mode configuration files. So basically, these are like how the malware is built for different Windows environments and different versions of Windows operating system. That's literally what it does. I went and looked at it. This thing, it doesn't matter what version of Windows you have. It's made for it. It has configuration files that would apply to it. And it also includes within these kernel and user configuration files, it also includes both 32-bit by 86 and 64-bit by 64 versions. So that's across the scale, guys.
So that's Linux, Windows,
Yeah.
Mac.
It also has stuff in there for ARM64 too.
That's Mac, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Well,
phones.
Well, specifically Windows version of ARM64.
Yep.
I want to specify that. It is also curtailed.
So
to
not everybody
Windows
knows
version
what
of ARM64
not everybody knows what
devices.
32-bit and 64-bit means, right? So that's your operating system. That's what you actually use. That's your Windows home screen, your Mac home screen. It's able to get in there and use every aspect of different platforms, no matter the platform, to be able to get in there. It doesn't matter what it is anymore. It can do everything. It can do them all.
Yeah. Yeah. It's insane.
We're having beeps happen.
Yeah, I was saying that something happened with our internet, and it was like it stopped. I guess it cut off the live feed for a second. Hopefully, everyone.
Yeah, we're still
back
live.
up.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So,
Oh.
let's move on. So so that was the end of that for the code and all those files. That was the end of it. That's none more. I'm gonna waste time on.
Oh, the internet's still down, huh?
No, I'm good. I'm going. It says we're reconnected now.
Oh, cool.
But anyways, so now why the Marvel framework? Let me pull this back up. It looks like we're potentially down.
Yeah, I'm not on.
Oh no. Well, let's keep going. It'll eventually reconnect.
We're recorded, so we're recorded.
Yeah. But anyways, let's keep going. So why the Marvel framework is still dangerous today? Well, even though the Marvel framework was exposed in 2017. Whoa.
Whoa. Okay.
Whoa.
It's
Whoa.
gonna be on the X.
Whoa. Stop that.
I like that. That was fun.
That's silly. Anyways, so we're back. We're live again, guys. I'm sorry about that. I don't know what happened. Our internet just kind of like blipped out for a second. So probably because we're talking about things we're not supposed to be.
Yeah, they're not happy with us.
Yeah, they're not. So why the Marvel framework is still dangerous today? So let me pull this dealio up. So why the Marvel framework is still dangerous today? So one, attribution of cybersecurity attacks is now pretty much meaningless. So the U.S. government, news media, cybersecurity firms constantly blame Russia, China, Iran, North Korea for every single little cyber attack that happens. Well, however, if the CIA can fake digital fingerprints, how can we ever know who actually carried out an attack?
Yeah, so I looked up how many different attacks or who, like China, Russia, Korea, has attacked the United States government before. And it's happened a bit. And now that really makes me think that the CIA finds these and they're like, yeah, it was Russia. Yeah, it was Russia. It was China. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it was them. It was definitely them. It wasn't
It
us.
was totally
Don't
them.
look at us. Because it has to do with espionage,
Mhm.
intellectual property theft, and different strategy advances. So it is a high possibility that all of these different cyber attacks that quote unquote China has done on America is simply just us
Yep.
making a false flag for us to be scared of them, want to attack them, want to defend ourselves against them, make them the enemy, right?
Yep.
It is a constant barrage of that. It's starting to make me think that we're the baddies, that we're the bad guys.
Yep, it does. And, and just to play into more of like, why the Marvel framework is still really dangerous today, is the fact that the U.S. could they could literally just justify wars based on fake cyber evidence.
Yes, they can.
Yeah, so for instance, let me pose something to you. If the U.S. government wants to start a war with China, well, all they have to do is stage a cyber attack using the Marvel framework and just blame China. It's that simple. The same applies to Russia, Iran, North Korea, any country, you name it, they could just do it. And then, like, let's ask another question. Has the Marble framework been leaked or replicated? Well, obviously it has been leaked. It got leaked on WikiLeaks back in 2017. But is it possible that other groups, such as any other foreign entity or even internal entity, decided to replicate it and use it? Well, yeah, duh. That's the only downside to it being leaked, man.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, I'm glad it was leaked, but at the same time, I'm not. Because now not only do we know that the CIA was doing some really fucked up nefarious things, but now it's out public where anyone can get their fucking hands on it.
Yeah, that brings up the ethical background of it being leaked, right? Is this a good thing for it to have been come out to the public eye? That's the question that revolves around this in the end. It was put on the internet, it was put on blast, and now everybody knows about it. Now everybody has it. Does that even the playing field, or does that give us a disadvantage? That's the question, right?
Yep.
Personally, I don't have an opinion. I find it very scary that anybody has this. They can easily manipulate a demographic or a outcome that they want depending on what their ultimate goal is. It's like, hey, go send them marble and let's make the people think that Russia just attacked us and now we can go invade Russia. It's very scary. Vice versa. The Russian can be like, hey, look, Zelensky and the Ukrainians hacked into our systems. Now we have to go and attack.
Yeah.
And counter this. This is very bad all the way around. It's also good, right? Now everybody has it. Now it's an even playing field. Much like technology with nuclear technology. Who has the most? Who has it? Why is this bad? Why is this good? All of it is freaky. All of it's freaky.
It's all real freaky, but I want to take a shout out real quick and to our sponsors, to Guinness. Hey, buddies. I can't start it and do a podcast or even end a podcast without having a good old Guinness at my side. And I would like to say, Guinness, give me that sponsorship. I love you guys to death. I'm also part Irish. Let's go. Please give me the sponsorship anyways. Oh, he's going on the Guinea too. Hell yeah. Dude, I'm taking a screenshot of that, dude. That is flawless, guys. Anyway, so here are my final thoughts on the Marble framework. I have them posted up here so you can see them too. So here are my final thoughts on it. So one, and this is just, pretty much what this means for everyone and, thinking for everyone to think about, because it's a serious fucking thing. So one, Marble framework makes cyber attacks pretty much, the attribution worthless, because governments can now blame anyone.
Yes, they can.
They can just blame anyone for an attack when they're the ones who did it.
It's the blame game all the way around.
Next kind of like thought on this is like how many foreign, cyber attacks were actually CIA false flags? That's a really important fucking question. We're talking election hacks, corporate espionage, infrastructure sabotage, you name it. Who fucking knows? I'm really curious as to what were the false flags potentially that have happened over a litany of time now.
I know that's
what really bothers me.
It's very scary, right? They blamed the Social Security leak of every single citizen on China.
Mhm.
They released a humongous PDF file of every single Social Security number of every single one of you.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, China did it. Now that makes me think, we did it.
Yeah.
And that we were trying to disassociate and disenfranchise the importance of having a Social Security number because, as we found with DOGE, they have stolen all of it.
Yep.
Nobody has any Social Security number or money anymore because it's all been used. It's all been sent over to Colombia to help transgender dogs.
I just don't understand. Anyways, sorry, I was about to get into that topic. I'm going to stop. I know you're just giving kind of like a final thought and wrap up.
Yeah, a little context, huh?
Yeah. My bad. I almost jumped in, man. You almost pulled me. You bringing that up. Like, dude, that's like
That hits home, huh?
Dude, you almost made me be like, my tax dollars.
You know what? Gyrate your feelings, Ben.
Gyrate. Look. Gyrate them feelings.
For those of you listening
Yeah.
online, Ben has a shirt that has a little stick figure man humping the words
He's
your feelings.
twerking. Get it right.
And Ben just held the shirt up and wiggled like a Harlem Shake little manner.
Pop it like it's hot. Pop it.
Let's drop it like it's hot, Ben.
Oh, no. I'm
Good
popping it like it's hot.
God.
I don't drop it like it's hot. Dude, now, dude, I'm going to pop that shit like it's hot.
Wait, you hold a hot pan, you gonna pop it?
Wop, 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 wop.
Oh God.
There you go. That's what everyone's into these days. Depravity. Anyways, let's move on. Sorry, my bad.
Oh, God.
But I will say this. The Marvel framework, just another final thought on this, is that this could literally be used to justify, and this is playing off the false flag concept. You know, what was this used on all these different, how many false flags were there that this was the source of?
It was used on me to go buy.
No. Buy nothing? Buy nothing, everybody.
I couldn't even get the joke out.
No, you couldn't.
The CIA used the Marble framework for me to go buy tofu, and I bought the tofu, and I didn't want it.
Hell yeah, brother. That's what I'm talking
They
about.
put it on my phone. Said tofu is good for your protein intake.
Tofu's good for your protein.
No, it's not.
No,
Fuck
it's
that
not. Oh, hell yeah, dude. But yeah, so the last one of my other thoughts on this was like, this could literally be used to justify any type of future war. Because if, like, let's say the U.S. was doing it. So if the U.S. wants a war with China, they could just fake a cyber attack.
Yes, they could,
justify it.
and I'm sure they have.
Or with Russia.
I'm sure they have.
Or with Ukraine.
I wonder how many times
Who
the
knows?
previous administration used the Marble framework to say, "Hey, we need to up our security for China because China bad, China bad."
Well, there's evidence to suggest it may have been used on the 2016
That's
election.
exactly right.
Mm-hmm.
Saying we manipulated it so that Joseph Biden can join, and that Russia did it.
Yeah. Well, not Joseph Biden. It was 2016. Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton. You know, everyone who seems to be close to the Clintons tends to end up dead.
Yes, they do, don't they?
I'm glad I don't know a Clinton, because I'd be like, what's your last name? Oh, I don't know how to pronounce that last name. Bye. I just walk the fuck away. I don't feel like dying, when really what they don't know is I have a wet team sitting over there, and they're just like,
Why are they wet? Dude, 'cause it's that time of the
Dude,
month, baby.
that's-
We got a full moon. Woo!
thank God you went to that. When you said it was that time of the month, I was like, whoa, I ain't bleeding out of my butt, dude. Like, I don't know what you're talking about.
If men had babies, would it come out their pee hole?
It's like splitting a banana, bro.
Or would the baby just be really small and then grow fast?
Dude, if they produced a butt baby, is that just a turd?
Yeah.
Or is that a Golgotham?
Goo Gotham?
A Golgotham.
What the hell's that?
It's a shit demon.
I
Have you
ain't-
seen Dogma?
I ain't never
If
heard of
anyone's
it.
ever seen the Dogma, if you haven't seen Dogma, go watch it. It's a great Kevin Smith film back in the 90s. It's fucking awesome. But I can tell you right now, that's a shit demon. And you'll know what I'm talking about. Anyways, so let me, I don't know why I switched the camera to you.
Me either. You
So,
always do it.
My last final thought on the Marvel framework is just basically the Marvel framework in totality destroys trust in pretty much any kind of cybersecurity report
Oh my god.
across the board, and because anyone can be framed, man. Like, literally anyone can be framed. I want you to please sink that in. If you're going to take anything away from this episode, just know about the Marvel framework. Anyone can be framed easily, and it's damn near untraceable. It's so fucking hard. It's damn near an impossible task. So anyone that if you're going to take anything away, just know that anyone can be framed for this shit. So, yeah.
This gold Gotham looks hilarious.
And the thing is, this is an official file. I'm going to share it one more time. If anyone's tuning in and they weren't here earlier, I'm going to share this one more fucking time for everyone. So this is the Marvel framework. Go right here. You see that? You see that Marvel framework source code? Click it. And then you click the marble.zip button. Download it. Do a little digging. There's an Easter egg in there for you. But there are plethora of files, and even coding files, configuration files, and if you dig a little bit deeper, I'll give you a hint. There's more coding files that you can't see through the typical review hidden items option within your file explorer. You got to use a forensic tool. I would recommend, if you're new to the game, just download and set up an instance of Kali Linux, and it's got plenty of forensic tools in there for Blue Team. You could easily use one of those to reveal it. So go do it. I implore you to do it. Go do it. So that's all I got. That's a Marvel framework. So
that's cool.
Done.
That's very cool. Very interesting stuff.
And we pretty much covered everything.
I love it whenever you're done just talking and you don't know what to say next. You just put me on the camera.
Yep. Just see over here, shipping on my Guinness.
And this would be a perfect time for anybody who's watching to call in. If you want to give us a ring, we'll give it about 10-minute open lines here for anybody who wants to ring us.
It's open.
Chit chat with us. It's been open the entire time, so feel free to call anytime.
Yeah, please call.
You can also leave a voicemail if you want to call us in. We'll play it on air whenever you call back.
Yeah.
But I hope you all, for the most part, enjoyed this show. Ben, what's your thoughts on this? On this episode, what's your thoughts? Good one, bad one? How do you feel?
I enjoyed it, but these types of topics, especially when we're talking about like the news, like the stuff we covered the first half, I tend to get a little riled up with it, especially with the fact that it affects the common average Joe like myself and everyone else, my neighbors, everyone should be outraged about the shit we talked about. But that type of stuff, it gets me riled up, and because it pisses me off that these things are happening. And then also just seeing the blatant, willful ignorance of a lot of people who don't do any research. They're not willing to go look. They just want to see a headline, and then they go off of that. And they live in some weird little echo chamber. Get out of your echo chamber, because I can tell you right now, if I were to be sitting, I know a lot of people probably take it away that we're like hard right people. We're actually not. We're centerline. But all the centerline people have moved over to the MAGA side because the left have lost their fucking minds.
Yeah.
And that's just the truth of it. The majority of people who are in the middle, who are like, hey, I agree with some of the things over here, and I agree with some of the things over here. Hey, I have no problem with you being gay. I have no whatever. It doesn't affect my life. Do whatever the fuck you want. Don't care. We'll still be friends. You want to come over to the barbecue? Come on over. All the people who are like that are majoritively on the MAGA side because the left have lost their fucking minds. So that's that. That's all I got. Stop putting me on the spot. Anyways, fuck your or gyrate your feelings.
You lost the script there again.
Sorry. Really, it does mean the best way to see this. Let me state that. It means fuck your feelings. That's really what it is.
Well, yeah, everybody can see that, Ben.
It's gyrate your feelings. That's what I say to my kids. That's why I bought this one, so it didn't say the F word, because I have a little kids, and I want them to be like, what's that? I was like, it's called gyrating your feelings. Anyways,
and this is called a plaid shirt.
That's just called gay. I wear a lot of those shirts too.
Wait, hold on, dude.
Wait, what?
And we accept you.
Thanks, dude.
We hear you and we don't judge.
No, I wasn't ready. No. Anyways.
I don't know. Yeah, last night I hung out with some of the family members down in Dallas. We went out and we had some beer and pizza, having a good old time. And I am deeply lactose intolerant, and my throat has been very phlegmy today because of it. We were telling stories of, I don't want to say that, but we were hanging out with some 30 to like 22-year-olds, 25-year-olds, and a few of them went off to go do their own thing, and they were gone for several hours, and they all live in the same apartment complex. And my niece-in-law was like, oh, they're just hanging out talking. And we're like, they're hanging out. Oh, they're hanging out. It's like, no.
What do you mean by hanging out? Can you be a little bit more innuendo on there?
They were bumping uglies.
Bunch of dudes?
2 people.
2 dudes.
No. A man and a woman.
2 chicks. That's tight, dude.
What is this, Office Space? Hey, turn on the channel 5.
Turn on the channel 5. Oh my God, I love your reference. For once, I don't find you to be an uncultured piece of shit. I love you so much.
But it was very funny to watch this very sweet young lady. She's just like, no, they're not doing anything gross. And I happen to leave my backpack in their apartment, and we had to go down there and get it. And we knock on the door. And they're like, hold on. And you can hear scram. Like, no, hold on.
I'd be like, ready or not, here I come.
You can hear, don't come in yet. Don't come in yet. Hold on.
It's okay, I'm naked too. Wait, I lost my pants outside.
They open the
Let me
door.
in there.
They're like buttoning their shit. Yeah, and I was like, they were definitely hanging out.
They're just smoking their smoking weed. That's how they're doing. That's all you gotta say. That's okay.
They were blazing down hard though. That
Oh
was-
hell yeah, dude! There's nothing better than getting blazed than fucking, dude. Dude, oh, get out of here, Dewey. You don't want none of this. Well,
I think-
what is it? It's weed. Makes sex great and you feel good. I think I want some.
Is it habit forming?
No, it's non-habit form. Oh, dude.
Is it expensive? It's the cheapest one there is.
It's the cheap-
I think I want some of this.
No, Dewey, get out of here. You don't want none of this. I think I do.
That's a very
Anyway.
fun movie.
Oh, that was funny. It's so stupid, but it's hilarious.
All right, nobody has called in, which is acceptable. It's still a new thing that we're playing off
Yep.
here, trying to figure it out. So yeah,
Yep.
thank you all for listening, tuning in. Thank you to Dustin Beck and David Southerner
Southern.
for the new theme song we got here going on. Thank you to Bad Cat Studios for some animations that we have in the works. Thank you all so much for listening.
In fact, can we give a proper shout out to Bad Cat?
Sure.
Can you grab his
Yeah.
artwork back there? Because I am actually a really big fan of the bottle. The bottle, both of them, I like them both. But I'm a fan of the bottle because it reminds me of something nostalgic. So these here, this is made by Bad Cat. And you know, Bad Cat's got some really more awesome stuff.
out of North
on there.
Carolina.
Yep. And
Shout out to Jenna. Huh?
they got an Instagram, all that stuff. We're gonna be better about making sure that's all in the chat and everything. But I can say right now, like this bottle right here,
It's all
that's
handmade, hand painted.
Yep.
It's really cool.
Yep. Handcrafted, and I'm a fan of the bottle. So shout out to Bad Cat. I really like the bottle. It reminds me of, honestly, my childhood. Because I had some family members that used to make homemade, like custom stuff just like that with, you know, from scratch themselves. And it was just a good time in my life.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know, it just reminds me of it. I love it. And I like anything that's handcrafted and someone who puts work into
Me
something.
too. Big fan of it.
There's just a respect and appreciation to it. So huge shout out to them. I wanted to make sure to do a proper one because I felt like I hadn't done a proper one recently. I want to make sure to do that.
Yeah. If you're in North Carolina, go find where he's at, having a little pop-up shop, I imagine.
Yeah.
And go check out their stuff. Yeah.
Yep, that's all for us.
Make sure
right?
you like, subscribe, follow along. We do this every single week. And if you want to talk to us in an email anonymously, we have a email. It is smartlyandeducated@gmail.com. It
is a real email. Like
that
we
was
confirmed
good.
it.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
Oh yeah, we overlap.
That was
Oh
a good
no,
one.
we are actually like perfect.
In sync, yeah.
Oh hell yeah,
That was a
dude.
good one.
That was unintentional. Kind of.
It is a real
We
email.
didn't rehearse it for 3 hours in the mirror.
every single day for the past month.
Yeah, dude, every single day.
But yeah, so if you like the show, make sure you share it to everybody you heard. Everybody that you think needs to hear it. If you like what we had to say, make sure you share it, repost it all across the world.
Yep.
Force people to listen to it in Walmart. Play it on the loudspeakers in your car driving down the highway. That's about it for us tonight. Thank you so much for hanging out today.
And also, if you're going through a divorce, look up the worst episode of us possible and put it on the PA for your ex. They're gonna really be miserable. So do that. We're here to protect you guys. We got your back.
That's in the back catalog.
We got you. Anyways, that's it for us. Now let's cue our new badass motherfucking intro.
Adios.
All right. Have a nice guy. Oh.
Cut it. Move on.
Nice night. Oh my God.
Have a nice guy.
Bye, bye. He muted me right at the last moment.